Welcome everyone to Voices of Hult. This is the first episode and I'm so happy, seriously, because we worked so hard to make this happen, and now we have a wonderful guest here, which is Julius. I'm sure that you have already seen him running all around school, different campus and Hult hours. And you are actually our famous friend.
Exactly. I was about to say that. He is our famous friend. Every time you're walking around school, it's like, oh, hi, Julius, how are you? He's saying hi to everyone.
And actually, he's not saying hi to everyone. Everyone says hi to him. And you're just okay.
It's so hard to work with him because he's saying hi to everyone. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to be here.
Welcome to Voices of Hult, man.
So, how come that you're so famous? You do have you're part of different clubs here in school, and tell us a little bit more about what you have created here to have and build all of this reputation, I would say.
That's a good starter question. If I only knew the secret recipe, but I guess everyone says hi to me because I'm involved in a lot of things regarding campus. Beyond my school courses, I'm enrolled in various extracurricular activities, starting with the Hult Student Association. I got my own club, the Hult Undergraduate Investment Group. I'm part of the Hult House resident assistant team. I launched a campaign against anti-discrimination with my peers 2 semesters ago. So there's just always something going on campus that I'm involved in. And I guess that's why people say hi to me.
Exactly.
Perfect recipe. Take notes.
So basically, we met because we were here actually in this room doing for the club fair, and it was we were sitting just here
right
in the middle of the table, and you were in the other part, and just okay, so maybe we can start collaboration between the two clubs, thinking big, and look at us now,
exactly.
recording the first episode together. Yes,
it took us some time, but we made it work.
Yeah, we made it. Shout out to student services.
Yeah. Yes. So, what between all the three, all the different things that you do, actually, how do you manage a little bit your time? I'm actually curious about it. I never asked you, but
yes.
How do you run all of this and still look calm, just taking your time?
Being such a brilliant student also, because it requires time for both.
Let me tell you, it's not easy. It requires a lot of hard work and dedication, a lot of planning. This semester especially showed me sort of what I'm capable of, but also showed me to what level I can go. It showed me some of my boundaries in personal life. It was just a little too much at some points, but it's important for me that I had the peers and friends that were there to support me when times got a little rough. I myself, I sort of have a schedule of priorities based on my personal interests, but also the interests of the student body and the value I can bring with a certain engagement. I mean, each of my activities focuses on one area of student life, I'd say. And while some provide a more holistic approach, such as the HSA position, I'm able to tackle a more niche group of students, for example, with my club. Itself, I guess it's still all about, for me, it doesn't feel like work. It's all fun, and for me, the payment is then seeing students' eyes light up as they sort of learn something new, and I was able to provide that either foundation to them for the knowledge, or I was able to teach it myself. I did it various times in this semester with the club, where we hosted a couple of workshops surrounding the finance world, topics of investment. It was very, very rewarding to see the feedback from students, the engagement, the turnout.
Yeah, and I guess that here we are not paid by anyone. Yet we are here. Today's Sunday, guys. Today's Sunday.
Yes, Sunday.
And I guess that we are doing this just for being just enrich ourselves in many different ways.
And I love to be here. Actually, I love to be in school every day.
We are talking here with another popular man.
No. I love to be in school like the whole day. I was just like, I can be hanging out here, and people's like, "Why don't you go home?" And I'm like,
This is home.
"This is home. I'm happy here."
I mean, this is home to some degree. I mean, we're all from different countries, and so we all came here to Boston to learn. This is I call this my second family away from home. And
that's actually something very important that you mentioned before. You were saying, I love my time here. I'm involved in many different things, yet rough time comes.
Yeah.
And when those rough time comes, having people that supports you, that's the most important thing. Unfortunately, I experienced that as well while I was here. It was such a tough time, like many things happened, and I felt like overwhelmed. But then, like, you know, there were like the peoples that really were standing there from here, because like even if you know that, okay, your parents back home, and I'm from Italy, so it's like seriously even different hours, time zone and everything. So you sometimes can't call the people that you trusted before in harsh times. So now you're facing like a period when you're just like introducing your insecurities even in a new place and sharing it with people that like are supporting you.
And Julius, how long you been living here already?
So I came to Boston in January of 2021 after spending my first semester studying virtually at the San Francisco campus while still being back home in Germany. So it was a 9-hour time difference.
Yeah.
Probably one of the worst periods in my life.
I'm sure that you were not the only one.
It wasn't pretty with the time difference, and I decided to come to Boston then in January 2021, and I've been here since with short trips going back home in the summer and winter breaks. But apart from that, I love it here. Yeah,
actually, can you just like explain me a little bit better, like how does the undergrad program works? Because like you moved, my roommate, for example, was just studying in San Francisco, and here like you do have a campus. How does that work? And can you rotate between any campus as well?
So yeah, we have the freedom within the undergraduate program to rotate. Each semester we technically have the abilities to study at a different campus if you want to. The main campuses that are open the entire year are Boston and London. And it used to be San Francisco, but San Francisco has been transformed into a summer-only campus.
Okay.
So
just like New York and Shanghai.
Yes. Yeah. Shanghai and New York. So yeah, if you want to take summer courses, you can now take them either here in Boston and London, Dubai, or San Francisco. Mm-hmm. And usually an undergrad spends 3 to 4 years with Hult, depending on whether they did any special high school diploma, such as IB. Those people will get 1 year less of studies. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a very big decision, the college decision, and so we're trying to shape the experience of so many students. I mean, I think we're now over 600. We're closing down, I believe, on 700, 800. I'm not too sure about the exact numbers, but the undergraduate program is growing at a rapid pace. Mm-hmm. Just to put it into perspective, I think we had about 100 students graduating this summer and 250 new freshmen joining us with the fall intake.
We do have numbers. We do have backseat here.
Yeah, it's an important part of knowing how many students you have to tailor to. And I think this year already feels so much different compared to last year, just because there are so much more people, so many more people on campus. It's truly more vibrant.
Sure. It is.
So, Julius, one of the things that I've heard that you are involved and you actually mentioned, it was like It Stops With Me. Can you tell us more about it?
Sure. So It Stops With Me is our on-campus anti-discrimination and cyberbullying campaign. We launched the initiative about 2 semesters ago after we saw a growing number of Instagram accounts pop up that were anonymously harassing students on campus and making very inappropriate comments and hid behind the anonymity of the account. So as we weren't able to take down the account because we weren't able to track down who was responsible for the doings itself, we thought it's a good time to bring the wider campus community together and unite them behind a mission to inform them about what is going on, but also how is this impacting students' journeys here at Hult, and to really set an example that Hult Bossen does not represent the voice of that account. And it was really important for us to also give students the security and the resources if they feel these comments were getting to them. So yeah, that was sort of, it stops with me.
Exactly, like I actually wanted to bring this topic when we were talking about having a support, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Because I think this started with friends, or how you started the whole thing.
So it started as a collaborative effort between master students and undergraduate students who really wanted to take part in this initiative and set a good example of what student life here should look like. And then we very quickly touched base with student services, but also our well-being team here, led by Karen van Dijk, who greatly supported us in the efforts. Because they saw how much value it was able to bring to the student body itself. And then from there on, it was complete ownership of us students to come up with a program, a mission statement, a brand for the entire initiative. And then also facilitate these conversations and really be out there, show support to the campus community. And one of the main things we discussed was we needed a color. So for us, that was It Stops With Me is purple.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I'm hoping we're going to be able to launch the campaign again in the spring semester. But once we do launch it, you'll see the entire campus is going to be united behind purple.
Count with us. Here you have your voice. Everyone's gonna listen to you.
Dear audience, go to Instagram and go #StopWithMe.
Exactly.
It stops with me. And but actually that's a great way to show support and even to create a community that's then is gonna like last as friends and that you can rely on, you know.
A community with purpose, which is really, really nice.
Yeah.
To have,
which increases as well like your values and like what you stand for, and you can learn a lot.
It's such a rich learning experience. I mean, we talk about these business case challenges all the time here, I think. We were sometimes forgetting the social impact we can have as students. So this was really one of the great ways to show what we're capable of as well, by impacting the community in such a positive manner.
Yeah, and this is actually something why I like to study here at Hult. Like we said before, like the three of us consider Hult Center as like basically our second home.
Yeah, literally. I am so comfortable here.
Yeah.
Not just only because the facilities are amazing, just the people around. I'm like, I know a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, hi.
And like the point here, like why I liked Hult is like it's super practical. You know, like if you want to do things, you do have the opportunity to do them.
That's right.
I started in Italy to have like this idea of opening a podcast and share it, you know, the voice with different people and the experience, the personal, but the professional, you know, it was just like very idyllic in my mind.
Yeah.
I do remember when that idea came to mind. And exactly, look at us now. Like, it's not like we do have an amazing team and we do have amazing people here. And this is concrete, you know. So this is something that really I like about Hult. And compared to different universities, that's what I was looking for, like practicality.
Yeah, I think Hult does not provide the stereotypical college experience that a lot of people associate with the United States.
Yeah.
I mean, the experience we're getting here is so diverse, so disruptive as well. I mean, just with its practical learning approach and its fast adoption of new practices, student-run, student-driven. I mean, just what we've been able to come up with our club has been outstanding. And I think the wide variety of club offerings here just shows how many interests are aligned within this campus. I mean, we have range just from soccer clubs over to academics, but also professional clubs such as my finance club itself.
Yeah. Well, I have the volleyball club.
Yeah,
exactly.
We're doing great. So.
And we are ambassadors as well. Yeah. And there is so much involved. And seriously, as you were saying, it's student driven. That doesn't mean that you don't learn theory, like, of course, but there is like business challenges, for example, where like a proper company comes inside Hult
We
and
just
tells you.
we just had that, right?
Yes, yes.
It was really good.
It was very nice. It was, how can I say, like, not exhausting, because that was nice, but challenging you, you know?
Challenging the right way.
Yes, challenging you in the right way. I had a wonderful team as well. Like, and yet, like, that was the time when I think, like, stayed here at Hult every single time, from 8 in the morning till 1 a.m. Yeah. And I was just like, okay. And my team was working a lot. That was the point. Yeah, you know? So, like, that was a time when you just, like, say, okay, I'm capable of all of those things. And, you know, it pushes you and tells you what are your limits, what you can work on, therefore, but even, like, what you're capable of. And you're just like, okay, you know what?
What are your passions? Like, how far are you going to be willing to push for?
Yeah.
And we just did that. And I do, like, understand people, because not all the time everyone's on the same page.
Yeah.
But then you realize your team is amazing and they're all on the same page with you. So they're willing to stay there as long as they need to.
Yeah. And actually, I believe that there is even a different, as you were saying before, like, Hult is full of different nationalities. Like, it doesn't represent, like, the stereotypical American experience that you will have. Because, like, I literally come across with so many different nationalities when I come, like, when I just, like, stay here. So working very close in those, like, many hours together with different cultures, that was sometimes draining. Like, you know, a lot of, like, basically we do have a whole world inside one building. So it can be tough. For me, I'm extroverted. I love to talk with people, but sometimes just like, okay, you know what? I need time for myself right now. But
it is hard. Yeah.
And that's when you start speaking Italian, because you're like, you know what? I cannot speak English anymore. And I've heard that a lot.
It's something
people is like, I just can't like keep speaking English. Like, I'm so tired.
It's something we encounter quite frequently within the first couple of weeks as new students are enrolling at campus. I was an orientation buddy last year, so I had those conversations with students who came here, had a great blast for the first 3 weeks, and then suddenly you didn't see the people anymore, and you're like, what happened? You strike a conversation with them, and you notice they're homesick.
Yeah,
they have that culture shock that we all had to go through here, and then fast forward another maybe 3 weeks or so, the students are doing great again.
Yeah.
I mean, I need to be honest, like, this is Christmas, as you can, like, Christmas time, and we do have a wonderful Christmas tree in the background. I loved it. I loved it, seriously. And when I came here in Boston, I came with a ticket, of course, like, to back home to Italy for Christmas. So, like, I came here in September, and I was thinking, you know what? I don't need to go back in December. I can stay here for 1 year. I used to travel since I was a kid, and by my own as well. And yet, for Christmas time, and like, yet I really appreciate to go back home, even if, as you were saying, I'm not homesick, because I don't know, there's not even a why behind it. I'm not homesick, but sometimes it's just good to just reunite with your family. Like, they're not two different words. They are together. So, you know, there is even difficult to merge those two sometimes.
What I noticed is that people undergo so much growth within their first semester here at Hult, whether it's undergraduate student or postgraduate students, and you get a whole nother perspective on your home and what it really means being home.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a lot of people that I've heard they are like, I'm going home for holidays and I can't wait to be back here.
Yes.
And
Me
I'm
as
like,
well.
what do you mean? And they're like, in 3 months that I've been here, I feel like I'm going to miss you guys so much.
Yes.
And that I know you guys for so long. It's been 3 months. And I just can't wait to be back with you here.
It all relates to the point I made earlier. I mean, this feels like a second family, and you don't want to be apart from from any family for too long.
Exactly.
And yeah, for myself, I mean, I do love being back home, but after a certain amount of time, I just wish to be back.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I'm saying.
Yes,
Everyone's
exactly.
like, I'm going back home. It's gonna be amazing, but they are sure that they will be at some point like, I want to go back to my other home.
Oh my God, yes, that's gonna be me so much right now. As I was saying, like I'm so excited to go back home to visit my family. Yet I know that I will just like, okay, I'm now gonna go back. Now I will, go back to my home, do like, take care of all the different stuff that I did not left, but like still that I have in Boston, because we have created something as to go back on the point before.
And let me ask you guys, what do you miss more from back home?
Oh,
Like
food.
from Germany and Italy.
Food.
We had an amazing
Yes,
pasta yesterday.
yes,
That
yes,
was-
it was very
yeah.
good. That was very
I
good.
missed that.
You also miss food?
I think for me, it's the quietness. So I come
The
from
quietness. Oh my God.
I come from a very small town in Germany, very rural. We have like cows right next doors.
That
and
sounds
then
really cool.
being in Boston and being in this it's not high pressure but challenging environment as an international student, trying to keep up with all deliverables for courses, extracurricular stuff that I mentioned earlier. I sometimes wish I would just be back home on our terrace, just doing nothing for once, just hearing no cars.
That's
No
interesting.
trains.
That's super interesting to hear from you. Because, like, well, I knew that you're from Germany, and you said to me several times that you're, like, from not a big city, just like a small town. But, like, the image that I'm sure that I'm not the only one who has, like, your image is, like, to being always involved in something, and you missing, like, the quietness. It's interesting from back home.
I can actually picture him doing nothing.
Oh, yes. Yes.
No, I look at him and he's the one that I can picture. He's like, just drinking a coffee or something and reading a book in the middle of nothing.
Yes.
And he's like so happy. I will be going crazy without noise, I would say.
It's so needed though. If I don't take care of myself properly and I don't have these quiet moments, I'm just gonna implode at one point.
And where do you find those quiet moments here in Boston? How do you manage to find that specific space here? Because as you were saying, it's so loud, and here you live in Hult House, so the activity is all the time. People's like studying, walking, and stuff. Myself, I just go to my room, or when I'm taking a shower, and that's enough time for me. I don't need more. But in your case,
it's funny because so you would assume that once I leave school and I go to my room, I'm off work. But since I'm also a Hult House resident assistant, my work really keeps on going, whether I want it or not. I'm always wearing that one hat, whether it's the one or the other. So for me, would help. I really had to discover and relearn what I needed to do in order to have these moments. But what helps me is just put on some headphones, put on noise cancelling, have some favorite music. For me, it's classical beats, classical tunes. I'm a big fan of
that. I'm not surprised.
exactly.
Of symphony orchestra, and go on a walk. We have the Charles River right in front of us.
Yeah.
We are in a great location here in Cambridge, Massachusetts. I can visit MIT within 15 minutes, Harvard within 30 to 40 minutes by foot, and just get a different scenery than school itself or Hult House. Just get out of that environment, take some deep, calming breaths, and really focus on your thoughts for maybe 30 minutes to an hour. It really makes a difference.
You know that happened to me yesterday. I am just more like him. Like I need time for myself. Otherwise, like you're just like employed. It's a me moment, and I need that. And that lasts more than just one shower.
I just think I don't know.
You're hyperactive. Every single where. No, but yesterday, for example, I went to ice skate with my roommate Jerry. Hello, Jerry.
Shout out to Jerry.
Shout out to Jerry. And then I wanted to go back home. He stayed there with a few other friends. I had to prepare and buy something for dinner. And I was like, okay, I do have two options. Either take the metro, well, Uber, but that was not an option for me at the moment, or walk. It was 1 hour walk to back home. And I was like, it was pretty cold outside, but still, I was
and
like, you know what?
Nothing.
I know. But still, it was late in the evening.
Just
Just wait. It's coming. Winter's coming.
Winter is coming.
Exactly. And I was like, you know what? That's perfect. The exactly amount of the time that I need to have for myself.
You walked for 1 hour?
I walked for 1 hour. It was like, I had to cross. I was in Fangway. So it's on the other part of the... it's not an island, but it's on the other part of the river, right?
Yeah.
So I had to cross all the bridge. That was the point. It was I was just like, oh my god, it's so cold in here. But yes, I was just loving every single step that I was taking. I passed from MIT. I just looked around. It was my headphones as well, listening just to calm music, and I was like, I needed this,
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, I would say we are here not just to be by ourselves. We are here to improve to network, just to expand our networking. And that is exhausting, getting to know a lot of people all the time and, work on it. That's one of my favorite things here. I'm getting to know a lot of people and I'm literally working on it.
Yeah.
And I'm having fun, but you get to a point that you are like, oof, this
Exactly.
give me a break. But at the same time, it's just your daily life that you're already doing it.
Yeah.
How do you manage your networking life here?
I think it's a healthy balance between all the various things to be considered. I do agree with you. There's only so much that I can take as well. I can only meet so many people a day before it gets exhausting on myself.
Yeah.
So it's important for me to know that boundary. But also then to just, I like to do things while I network. It's never just a conversation.
Yeah.
I love getting coffee with people because then I can have sort of a coffee for myself while enjoying a good conversation. Or going on a walk with someone, I can have that walk for myself while still enjoying that good conversation and that connection.
Yeah. Because at the end, it's not just networking. Okay, so what's your name? Okay, done, check. It's more sharing and understanding what the other person path.
Yeah, because I really want to make those deep connections, those value connections. Yeah. And if I would just network on a surface level, asking the most stereotypical questions, I would never be in the position I am right now.
Yeah.
Look at you. Look at you.
Wow. That was interesting. All different topics.
When I first got here, I was so excited to make friends because that's one of the reasons that I chose Hult. I was like, people from all around the world, I want to share with everyone. I sneak in to an MIB event with Lidia.
Oh, come on, don't say that.
We started making friends.
Yeah.
And then we had the MIM event. And by that point, I was so tired of...
And he is extremely extroverted. He speaks with everyone.
So tired of trying to learn everyone's name and trying to remember who was each person I already met. And I was like, I just learned 55 new names today. And I have to, in my brain, relate them with the face. And now I'm going to a new event.
Are you better with faces or names?
No, but it's...
I'm with both. I can see people, and I'm like, oh, that is that person. And they're like, how do you know? And I'm like, oh, I remember this day, we were in this place, and that is the name.
But exactly, this is what you want to do, as we were saying. You just don't want to associate one name with one face. You want to have the connection and say, oh, this is Julius. This is what he does. This is why I am connected with him. And all the different little things and details that you're building it. It's not just Julius, okay, this face, it's quality time that you're building itself. So that's why it's even draining. It's exhausting sometimes. But that's the good part of networking. And it's not just networking in the sense for, of course, like for your future, for like the professional, that's extremely helpful. But like it's extremely helpful even right now, like knowing people and say, okay, I can rely on that person maybe, and I can ask him or her to join me in my club, for example, join me in my program or my business program that I'm making, then like my idea, because I know that that person is very good at this and that, and I know that he or her has got experience.
I'd like to bring up a saying here. I think a lot of people know it, but your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
And that's something I really came to appreciate here at Hult, as we have so many students that all have a life story to share, and that all have done extraordinary things in their time, whether it's here at Hult or prior to coming here.
Just like you.
Exactly.
But you'd be surprised how much people have actually done that you wouldn't even know about. And you don't know about the great things until you really have a talk, sit down with them and really get to know those people.
Have a talk, sit down with them in front of a microphone with headphones on, I will
Exactly.
say.
So you get to know him better.
Yeah, seriously, that was like the idea of coming here. As you were saying, I came here to Hult like to make friends. I came here to Hult to know people, to not just networking, but network. As you were saying, like sit down and say, okay, tell me more about you. I want to know you, because like I in my head, like this way of having so many people from all over the world, different cultures, all here in one building, it was so much value to me,
Oh yeah, I
and
mean,
I
you
was
can
like,
at Hult you can experience a country without going there.
yeah.
Definitely.
And I was like, you know what? I want to meet every single one there. I want to meet everyone, and this is like why. And I was like, okay, I want to do that, but I'm sure that there were so many people that want to meet, like, and want to know your stories as well. So why not share your voice? Maybe hear it with Voices of Hult. Exactly. So with the podcast, and everyone will know it better.
So you were saying your favorite activities for networking are just like regular activities, like going for a coffee, going for a walk.
Coffee is a big thing.
Okay,
I'm
you
big
love
into coffee, so
yeah.
coffee is my go-to
That's
choice.
why he said yes to us.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
I'm coming to Voices of Hult. Just if you were like, we had a coffee together. Now I see.
No, for those that know me, I drink about, I don't even want to say the number, but more than 3 coffees a day, I'd say.
That is a lot.
I'm guilty.
So, let me ask you something. Where's your favorite coffee place here in Boston? Have you where's like you have to go? I love coffee too. I don't drink that much because I try to control it.
Liar.
No, I try to control it. I'm
Liar.
Like 2 cups or 3 top. Like I'm like top. At least it's business challenge. But I've always asked a lot of people like, where can I find the best coffee ever? And
Starbucks.
No, don't go to Starbucks.
We go there pretty often.
It truly depends. I mean, as students and as myself, I don't often find having the time to go places or to travel. So I oftentimes go for the most convenient solution.
Mm-hmm.
So around campus, we do have a Starbucks. I think that's where we go there.
Exactly. I was mentioning it.
And we also have a Tate bakery and cafe who sort of provides another level on top of the Starbucks, because it's just more, it feels more homey, it's more cozy.
Yeah.
It invites you to just sit down, relax a little bit, get some work done, and appreciate the moment.
Exactly. Starbucks is very close from the campus, whereas like Tate is just like, 5 minutes farther away. So it like gives you even that perspective of just like saying, okay, you know what, I can take like a me time, as we were saying before. So just like in a nice area, there is a park around, so there is even, you can have a nice walk, have a good...
the walk is also important. Sometimes I'm going to go to Tate because I want to walk a little bit, just like take a break from school.
Exactly. Feel relieved for a little bit. And as we were saying, those moments are very needed.
They are important.
And if you had a time, where would you go to have a really, really good coffee? Like, you know what? Today I want a coffee.
There's some very good places downtown Boston. Actually, there's also very good ones in Little Italy in the North End.
Mm-hmm.
They make some phenomenal on Hanover Street. There are a few coffee shops that really know what they're doing.
Okay. Well, I should try that.
Well, now I know what I'm gonna do today. Yeah, I want my second cup of coffee.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, after this wonderful tip, if you want to know others' incredible tips around Boston, please reach out to Julius. I'm sure that he is going to be more than welcome even to help you on this side. And yeah, Julius, thank you very much for your time. You have been extremely valuable, precious for us, and like you as a person, like here. So
Any last message you want to share with all the students, professors, and everyone listening to you?
There's one thing actually I'd like to say is I think we go out there, join the events that are provided on campus. They're really going to shape your experience here. In the end, the experience you're going to have is you are responsible for the experience yourself. So please show up to all the events we have going on campus, whether it's just for supporting your friends, or to meet new people. Join one of the mixers, and from a HSA standpoint, if you have any recommendations for us on how to make this school or this campus even greater than it already is, then please reach out to one of us and let us know what your take is. We'd love to get the feedback and act on it.
Yeah, because as we were saying again, this is a student-driven school.
Correct.
Exactly.
And we're here to make an impact, not just on the world, but like we start from here. So if we can make it now, let's make it.
And I'm pretty sure like everyone here in school is pretty open to
Help.
listen.
Yeah.
And just try to understand what you need and
Yeah.
try to do it, you know?
Yeah.
And probably if you recommend something, they will be like, okay, how are we going to do it? It's not just about like, this is good. They will say like, how can we do it?
Tell me.
So you
tell
come
me
with the
how.
idea and the solution
Exactly.
and how to do it.
That's exactly another way of practical. That
Growth mindset.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's the last message.
Growth mindset. No, it's been lovely to be here. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to both of you, and I'm so glad we made this work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Julius, and well, Merry Christmas and
happy holidays. Happy holidays to you.